The empty wallet. Lesson: enoughness and gratitude. Michael opened his wallet slowly, almost carefully, as though he feared what he might confirm. Empty. No notes. No coins. Just a thin piece of paper from an old transaction and a fading ID card that reminded him of better days. He closed it and leaned back against the wall of his small room. It wasn't just the emptiness of the wallet, it was the weight behind it. 2 years ago, he had graduated with hope. A degree in engineering, a head full of plans, and the quiet confidence that life would unfold in his favor. But life had not followed his script. Applications sent. No replies. Interviews attended. No offers. Promises made. No results. And then came the comparisons. Every time he opened his phone, it felt like the world was moving without him. New job, grateful. First car, finally. Promotion secured. People he once sat beside in lecture halls were now miles ahead, or so it seemed. Michael began to shrink inside himself. Maybe I'm just not good enough, he whispered one evening. That same evening, hunger drove him outside. Not boredom. Not habit. Hunger. The kind that forces you to act. He walked until he noticed a small food stall by the roadside. A woman stood behind it, flipping plantains in hot oil, moving with energy that didn't match the simplicity of her surroundings. There was laughter in her voice as she spoke to customers. Michael stood at a distance, watching. The smell of food pulled him closer, but his empty wallet held him back. He turned to leave. Hey! You there? The woman called. He looked around. Me? Yes, you. Come help me with this. She pointed to a tray stacked with plates. He hesitated, then walked over and carried it to where she directed. Thank you, she said with a smile. So, what will you eat? He shook his head quickly. I don't have money. She didn't react the way he expected. Instead, he served a modest portion of rice and plantain and handed it to him. Sit, she said simply. After eating, he stayed. Customers came and went. Some joked. Some complained. Some tried to bargain. But through it all, the woman remained cheerful. At one point, a customer frowned. This portion is small. She smiled. Then your hunger must be big. The customer laughed despite himself and walked away. Michael watched closely. How are you so relaxed? He finally asked when things became quiet. She looked at him. Why shouldn't I be? This work, this stress, the uncertainty. She wiped her hands and leaned slightly forward. Tell me your own story first. Michael hesitated, then spoke. He talked about his degree. His struggles. His failed attempts. His empty wallet. His friends who seemed to be thriving. And now, he finished, I feel like I failed before even starting. The woman nodded slowly. And because of that, she said, you've decided you have nothing. Michael didn't answer. She gestured around her stall. Look at me. Some days I sell well. Some days I don't. Some days I worry. Some days I laugh. She picked up a piece of plantain and dropped it into the oil. But every day, I have something. She looked him in the eye. Enough to begin. Michael frowned slightly. Enough? Yes, she said. Enough food to cook. Enough strength to stand. Enough people who will come. Enough reason to smile. She paused. If I wait until I have everything, I will never start anything. Her words stayed with him long after he left. The next day, he returned. Not as a customer, but as a helper. He carried trays. Cleaned plates. Arranged items. In return, she fed him. But more than that, she showed him something he had been missing. Joy in small things. Progress in small steps. Gratitude for small wins. Days passed. Michael stopped checking social media as often. Instead, he started paying attention. The rhythm of work. The satisfaction of being useful. The quiet dignity in effort. One afternoon, he noticed something. "Your signboard is hard to read," he said. "People might pass without noticing." She shrugged. "It's what I have." Michael paused. "You don't need a new one," he said slowly. "You just need a better design." That night, he borrowed a laptop. Using the little graphic design knowledge he had, he created a simple but clear signboard. The next day, they replaced the old one. Within days, more customers began to stop. "It looks different now," someone said. "Easier to see." The woman smiled at Michael. "You see," she said. "Enough." That moment changed something. Michael began offering small design services to other vendors nearby. Nothing big. Just simple work. Logos. Posters. Banners. At first, the pay was small. But it was real. More importantly, was his effort turning into value. He was no longer waiting. He was building. Slowly. Steadily. With what he had. Weeks later, Michael opened his wallet again. There was money inside. Not much. But enough. He smiled, not because of the amount, but because of what it represented. He had stopped chasing more and started using what is. That evening, he returned to the food store. "You've changed," the woman said. Michael nodded. "I understand now." He handed her a package. Inside was a professionally printed signboard, bright, clear, and inviting. She stared at it, then at him. "You did this?" "Yes," he said. "From what I had." She smiled. "Good," she said softly. "That's how everything begins." Michael looked around, the small stall, the simple light, the quiet joy. Nothing had drastically changed. But everything felt different. Because he had learned something powerful. True fulfillment comes not from having more, but from appreciating and using what you already have. When you embrace enough, you unlock creativity, confidence, and growth.